All right, guys, welcome to the Buff Show. Today we have an awesome episode I'm really excited for with Chad Felter with Nilson Homes. So welcome, Chad.
Hey, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you can tell we kind of coordinated
Yes.
the
Yeah.
blue shirts.
Right?
Yeah. No, but Chad's awesome. Chad and I have done a deal together and it went great. And you guys are killing it on your marketing and everything. So I thought it'd be great to have you in to kind of go over the process on what it would look like if a buyer wanted to go the new builder route and what that looks like. So, but starting off, let's do a little introduction on you, who you are and your background and all that, and then we'll dive into Nilson.
For sure. Well, I'm a graduate of Weber State University. I've got my bachelor's degree, and back in 2000, I started kind of my career, if you will, and did some work in the aviation industry, a little bit with McDonnell Douglas.
Oh, wow.
And,
That's cool.
Boeing, was a licensee for them, and then I went into metrology and continued to do that. But all of my careers have been sales related, right? And then I did some retail with Market Star. And at one point I reached kind of that aha moment of I'm on the road a lot, I'm gone from my family a lot, and I had a good friend, Ron Snow, who was a neighbor at the time, a snowmobile buddy, and a broker for RE/MAX, and he said, why don't you give real estate a try?
Yeah.
And that was 14 years ago, and the rest is history. And so
wow.
I started out with RE/MAX with Ron, spent 6 years there, and then the balance I've been with Nilson Homes, and it's been great.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so.
Wow. Well, that's cool. And what can you tell us about Nilson Homes? Who are they?
Yeah.
Why are you working with them?
Great question. So I actually did my due diligence with new construction while I was an agent at RE/MAX. And I ended up building a home with them. And this was all prior to me working there. And I was just super impressed with the process.
Yeah.
And just from start to finish. And back then we were doing customized homes.
Right.
Fully customized, right? And built a home with them, just loved it. Started to refer some clients there. And overall was just super impressed because not all builders are equal, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And the experiences can sink you as an agent, or they can benefit you in great ways. And so I did approach the sales manager at the time, who's now our owner, Jed Nilson, and that's when I picked up a position there and started working with them. But the thing I like about Nilson Homes is that they are constantly improving. They're always looking for what ways we can refine, be more economic, be more customer user-friendly, if you will. They are very connected with the community, very connected with the clients, and they do a lot of campaigning with like the Jenny Taylor situation with the Have a Heart Homes and all of that. So they just really kind of fell into the mold that I was looking for a career, and it's been a good match.
Yeah. No, they're definitely not a stagnant company. They're always innovating and like moving with the market, tweaking things.
Yeah.
I've been impressed with that. And I've worked with a bunch of clients, and from like luxury to first-time home buyers to old homes, new homes, and the ones that have bought new homes, like there's only a handful of contractors that I've been impressed with, like going through the process with my clients, and Nilson's one of them. So
I appreciate that.
yeah, it was a great experience. So
Wonderful.
let's jump into like what do you guys specialize in? I know you said you were more custom homes at one point, and now like let's kind of talk about where you guys are at now and what do you guys do?
Yeah, so you hit it right on the head when you said that we've been adaptive, if you will, for lack of a better word. The market is always going to be changing and very dynamic. And as such, as a business, you have to modify your business model all the time. Right? And about 2 years ago, we had to do that, and it was kind of a painful change for us, if you will. We did go away from that fully customized home to more of a production environment. And the supply chains, they started to dry up, as we know, with COVID and everything else.
Yeah.
And trades started to see their lead time extend out to, in some cases, 7 months in advance, right? Well, when you're building a home, that is a extreme challenge, especially if you're trying to predict your costs. And if I'm a buyer, I'm petrified,
Right.
right? Because I may be spending way more at the end, and I don't know what I'm going to spend until I get to that point.
Right.
And there's some frustrations that come along with that. So what we decided to do as a company was predict our costs, right? So we really streamlined the process. We no longer could offer, because of the supply chain issues, the same number of color palettes, the same number of exterior palettes, if you
Right.
will. There were just modifications, right? And we decided, instead of contracting at inception of the home and go all the way through, we would just kind of use our professional skills as well as outside third-party professionals to design these homes, customize them the way that we feel that the market would want. And about the time that we could, confidently predict our costs, that's when we would market them to the general public.
Yeah.
And it has been a really good business model, because at this point you see homes that are maybe 60 days from completion, some cases 30 days from completion, and they have a price on them, and we know what our costs are. They're fixed. The buyer no longer has to worry about that dynamic cost changing, right? And we've been very fortunate. It's been a good move for us. We've really streamlined our process. We're able to build more homes, which is obviously a major factor in the state of Utah right now, because
Right.
we're deficient.
Right.
About 30,000 homes last time I heard. And so this is helping us to gain traction on that, especially locally, and at the same time offer a very good, solid product that people love and do it for an affordable price.
Yeah. No, the pricing is key, because I've had a lot of clients who started the build process and then rates went up, things shifted, and even if the price of the home didn't change, but just the interest rate changed by the time they got done, it can mess up a sale for a client.
Yeah.
But at that point, they're pretty committed. Like, they've got earnest money, construction deposit down. Like, that can be detrimental to families.
Yeah.
And so what you guys have done offers a ton of protection for the buyers, so that they know exactly what they're getting. And then the rates, like, typically you can lock a rate for 45, 60 days. And so there's not that concern either for the buyers. So that's huge.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. So where are you guys building mostly? Where are most of your...
Yeah, great question. So our focus traditionally has been Davis and Weber County. As of right now, we're in both counties. We do have one community, which is Bluffview. That's out in West Point. That's going to be kind of a patio home community, if you will. It is an HOA, pickleball courts.
Oh, sweet.
It sits right next to a golf course, so if you're an avid golfer, that's a great one. And then the bulk of our inventory is currently in Weber County. So we've got Plain City, we've got Pleasant View, some beautiful homes in Pleasant View. We've also got West Haven, some half acres out in Hooper in our Silver Saddle community, and a brand new one that's coming on in Far West called Parkside Estates. And then we do have Diamond D as well, and West Park in Plain City. So everything's going to be in the northern part of Weber County for the most part. But we've got a number of years of inventory locked up in terms of land. We'll be building for a long time. And we're excited. We're excited because we are just... Every time I go into a sales meeting, there's something new that's on the horizon, right? And we have, as a salesperson, we have a hard time refraining from talking about that, right? But we do get excited going around and telling people that, hey, we've got a new community in XYZ, right? And not all builders have that luxury,
right?
And we're very blessed in that sense. We've got a good team of people at the corporate office that work very hard to make sure that we have a future.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
No, that's awesome. It sounds like if there's a buyer looking in northern Utah, you guys definitely, between any one of your multiple communities, would probably have an option that would work for them.
That's the idea. That's the idea, because we do target all the demographics. I mean, we start with the millennials, like our townhomes.
Yeah.
Our townhomes are some of our hottest products right now, and you can get into those in the high 300s, which is crazy.
Yeah.
That we're already in.
That is crazy.
That amount for the townhomes, right? And they were 250s 2-3 years ago, but all the way up to almost 900,000
Wow.
on the high-end, customized types of homes. But there is definitely a product for every demographic out there, and it makes it a much easier sell for us as agents because we know that when somebody does approach us, there's an option. There's a community. It's just a matter of marrying the two,
Right.
right? So
No, that's amazing. So are most of your homes like 30 to 60 days out from completion right now? Or are there
Yeah.
some custom options that people can do?
So unfortunately, that's one of the downsides.
Okay.
Because of the trade lead time, we do not allow any changes.
Right.
And it can have an avalanche effect in a negative way if we have to bring a trade in to make an option change.
Right.
Because they're stacked up, right? And you know, the term production builder may have a negative connotation to it when it really doesn't. It's just very streamlined,
Right.
And so to make one change can actually impact 15, 20 different trades that have been booked months in advance. And so we have to be very, very careful on how we promote that.
Yeah.
But the good thing is that anything can be done to a home. Right, so a lot of times the changes that people want done typically can be done after the fact when they move in.
Yeah. Paint,
Yeah,
light fixtures,
Yeah,
little things like
exactly,
that
right.
make a big difference.
little electrical work, and we're more than happy to share our trade information with them, and
Yeah.
they collaborate, work it out. It's faster.
Yeah.
It's in some cases more affordable because we're not the middle person.
Right.
Right, and I mean, there's always another plan B, and that's the way we've kind of approached it. So
Right.
it's doable. It's just during that building phase, we want to be very careful
Yeah.
that we don't inhibit the production of that home because
Yeah.
we're moving product, right? That's
Well,
the idea.
Well, and if you guys were, say, more of a custom option, people would be paying a lot more because of the time involved and switching things up and changing it. And that's why your prices are so competitive compared to, like, you can get into a really nice home competitively in this market with you guys versus looking at an existing one or building custom. It's just like you never know what you're going to be at the end of the day. I always tell people if you're going to build custom, you need to have a very large cushion fund because I've never heard of anybody say, "Oh, I just built my dream home and came in 10% under our estimates." You know,
Never happens.
Everybody's like 20, 25% more, and I don't think you'll ever be under. And so you have to have a good cushion, lots of cash to be able to float those unexpected expenses and weather and getting products and all that. So
Yeah, I wanted to kind of retract a little bit because your original question you asked about like homes 30 days, 60 days.
yeah,
So we've been very strategic on how we've done it as well. So we do have, right now we have in excess of 50 homes that are done,
oh wow,
ready to go. And so the adage of there's not any homes out there is simply untrue,
right,
right? You just have to find where they're at.
mm-hmm.
The existing market, and when I say that, meaning homes that are already built, that are, people have lived in, occupied, that market is down. There's no question. There's only a couple thousand within the state last time I checked, right? But in terms of new construction, there is an abundance, at least from our side of things, right? And so we have, if you need a home and you need to get into it now, we have it. If you've got some time, and you need to just hold off for a month or two, we have that too. So we kind of stage them so that they have their certificate of occupancy ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have some that we put in what we call our VIP status, meaning that they're going to be done within 30 days, but they're not actively marketed on the market.
Right.
And then we have some that we put in our 14 days, which means that they're 60 days or less from completion. The beauty with all of this is that we don't advertise all of them to the public.
Right.
They all have pricing. They all can be purchased. So in recent weeks, we have seen a lot of multiple offers again.
Oh, wow.
Right. So we're starting to come back to that phase we were at last year when it was a feeding frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as a buyer, rest assured, you can step into one of our homes that's not listed per se on the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
And secure it without that feeding frenzy.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And lock the price.
And I think that's what we did with you guys last year, and it was a breath of fresh air with my client, honestly.
Yeah. Because it's frustrating. It's who wants to know that there's 14 offers on a home and you just have to keep ramping up your price?
Right.
And then at what point is the value add no longer a value add, right?
Yeah.
You know, we love the fact that we can just put it out there, and it's a marriage. It's a beautiful marriage where people find what they're looking for. It's no haggle. They know exactly what their price is.
Yeah.
And they secure it.
Right. Well, and one thing I want to add that I was impressed with working with you guys is even though a buyer's not able to pick the selections, like you guys put a ton of thought process and energy and effort into not only the style and like layout of the houses that you're building. When there's tons of options, like the community we were looking in, I think it was in Plain City, and you guys had ramblers, you had 2 stories, and just like they were all different. It didn't look like a cookie cutter neighborhood really, because like you had traditional homes, more modern styled homes. There was a wide variety of different homes in there. And then the garages, like, man, you guys were killing it with the garages, because I think the one my client got, it was like a 4-car garage. And it wasn't a huge house, but it had a really good garage. Like all the essentials were there. And it was basically like a blank slate that somebody could go in where the essentials are there, and then they can kind of customize it if they want to change out light fixtures or plumbing fixtures, and then their furniture would just add a lot of taste to it. I see a lot of people that haven't built houses before build a house, and they pick things that I'm like, oh man, like that is going to be so hard to resell, which I guess it's okay because it's their dream home. But what you guys are doing, I mean, it is preventing and protecting some people against themselves because they're not doing that all the time.
Yeah.
And so I don't think, unless you have $1 million or more, like, and you're ready to build the exact dream home that you want to be in and be there forever, I don't think that's your target demographic that you guys are selling to. These are most people are, going to be there for a handful of years, and then they'll probably sell it, or, they could be there for a while, but it's nice having a product that is going to last a long time be marketable to other buyers in the future.
Yeah, we've done this sounds like tooting our own horn, but it's really not so much ours. But the research was done internally with our design team and management team, and they actually hired some outside professionals to put together some color palettes. And they're beautiful. Yeah, every one of them. They are. You could, if you want a contemporary design color palette, you can get that. If you want something that's more of the Baroque or Bohemian, I think it is. Yeah. Right, with kind of the rustic golds and brasses, which bring back the '80s. We have all of those color palettes to match it up with a buyer. And all the exteriors, from farmhouse to the traditional to the Americana, they all look different. And we have a standing rule that no two homes can be side by side or across from each other and have the same color scheme or color palette. And that protects the aesthetics of the community, which is, to your point, right? It protects everyone, because what we want is that community to, for a long, long time, look good, appreciate in value, and everybody be happy. And they've done a beautiful job of doing that.
Right.
I'm impressed. You can't walk into one of our homes and not notice the difference.
How many different models would you say you guys have between all your communities and everything?
Well, it's in terms of single family homes like Ramblers, we've probably got 6, 7, 8 different Ramblers that we offer. We do have some 2-story homes, and there's probably a similar number there as well. Some with basements, some without. They're just slab on grade. And then we've got the townhomes, and those are 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and a 2-car garage, which is hard to find in a townhome.
Yeah, that really is.
And then obviously we have some cluster patio homes as well that have shared walls. Yeah. But we've got, if I had to guess in terms, what we've done in the past is upwards of 50. Right. But we've really, like to an earlier point, we've scaled it down and narrowed it to probably, I would say, 20-ish. Yeah. And, that we seem to be running right now about that level. Yeah.
No, and all your plans are awesome from what I've seen. And it's cool. You have like from patio home to a home on a half an acre, larger Rambler styled homes.
And we have HOA if you don't want the land landscape maintenance and all of that. We have those options. We have master communities, and
Oh, that's cool.
we've got a really, really neat master community out in West Haven, and that one has a combination of all of the homes, and it's got 40 acres of open space,
Oh,
8
wow.
miles of walking trails, and they're going to start on a stocked fishing pond
Oh, wow.
this spring, and it's got a pickleball court, a playground. I mean, it's really a great master community, and it's the first of its kind in Weber County.
Yeah.
And we're going to pretty much mirror that in Plain City in the near
Wow.
future. And it's been a huge success.
That's
So,
awesome.
bright future.
What's your largest floor plan you offer right now as far as like square footage goes?
So in terms, we have two.
Okay.
We have a 2-story that we offer called the Beaumont. And that is 18-foot ceilings, lots of natural light, absolutely stunning. I live in a home very similar to it, about 5,200 square feet.
Wow. That is big.
Yeah.
That's a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah, and I have one
Wow.
staged up in Pleasant View that is absolutely gorgeous and worth walking through. Just even if it's not what you're looking for, you got to just see it.
Yeah.
Right. And then in terms of Ramblers, we have a Somerset plan, and that one, depending on what we do with it, can be over 5. So
Wow.
it has the capacity to have a bonus room over the garage with a mini split system in it, so you have its own climate control.
Wow.
Which has always been problematic for bonus rooms as well, and that's
Yeah.
been solved.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my personal favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's got 3 bedrooms up, 2.5 baths on the main.
Mm-hmm.
The kitchen's stunning.
Yeah.
It's got a reverse vault in it that goes up 12 feet, and then you have an upper bank of windows. And most people that walk into that fall in love with it immediately. Huge garage.
Yeah.
When I say huge, I'm saying 5 plus.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so if you're really targeting, typically men want that garage mahal,
Yeah.
and women want the kitchen.
Right.
It's got
both
all
of
of
them.
them. It checks the box.
That is so cool. I actually think, like, as you say that, I'm like, I got a few clients that would actually
Yeah.
love that right now.
Yeah.
What do you see in that one come in at right now?
I've got some. They're because of the size of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little bit tougher to fit on land, so we have to have larger lots, 1/3 acre or bigger.
Right.
And I've got a couple of them right now that are in I would say the low to mid 800s.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We'll have to talk after this.
Yeah,
'cause
for sure.
Might have some folks. But
Great.
so what does the process look like if somebody wants to buy with you guys? You've already mentioned you're 30 to 60 days out, and there are some stuff that's not listed yet.
Yeah,
Do you guys work with if they have a home to sell?
we do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So if they have a home to sell, it's considered a contingent offer,
Yeah.
right? And typically, what we'll do is we'll grant, give or take, 60 days,
Okay.
right? Depending on the market,
Yeah.
how hot it is. And if they have a home to sell, then we just have them sign one additional document. And really, what it is it's a home to sell agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, it's saying, hey, here's what we're going to list it at. Here's kind of what our marketing strategy is. And it's more or less just skin in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just, because we're locking up a resource for them, and we do pay construction interest on that home, so there's
Right.
cost to us. We just want to know that we're teaming up.
Yeah.
There's a partnership, and that we're both aggressively working for the same goal.
Right.
And it hasn't been a problem
Mm-hmm.
in the past just because the market's so awesome.
Yeah.
But we are happy to do contingent deals like that. If somebody doesn't have to worry about selling a home or a contingent home, we have just a 1-page offer sheet. We've really simplified the process. You fill it out, your offer price, the details of it, submit it to our management team, and then we'll have an answer literally within a few hours, maybe a day, if
Wow.
that. And if everything's kosher on both sides, we secure it with a contract. And we just basically continue to the point where we're roughly a week out
Mm-hmm.
from closing on the home. We'll do a walkthrough orientation with the homeowners, orient them on the functionality of everything. We do have a 10-year home warranty, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's incredible, which
Yeah.
I want to dive into as well.
Yeah. And we talk about all of that at that point. And if there's anything we've missed, because I mean, you're basically, home building has been referred to by a colleague of mine that you're butchering a cow and delivering a steak,
Yeah.
right? So you're going to see some things.
Right.
It's inevitable when you've got human factor involved.
Right.
And our goal is to have all of that resolved before that point when they do their walkthrough. But every once in a while, you do find some things, right?
Yeah.
And so in that walkthrough, we identify any remaining issues. And then we have, our goal is to have a zero punch list at the time that they take occupancy in the home. We want move in, it's ready to go,
Right.
they're happy.
Well, I can tell you when we did ours, we walked through to do that final walkthrough, and you guys had already done all the blue tape for us.
Yeah.
Like, it was all done. And when I say blue tape, there was hundreds of blue tape all over the walls just showing imperfections, little touch-up things that needed to be done. Like, more than any of my pickiest buyers would have even picked out.
Yeah.
Which was cool. I don't think we had to blue tape anything else because it was like already done. Like you guys had already done it. So that was really reassuring, like going there and being like, oh, these guys actually really do care about the end product, the end result, and making that transition really smooth.
Yeah, and we send in different independent teams to do that, right?
Wow.
Because what you may see is different from what I may see, right?
Yeah.
And so it's nice to have different sets of eyes, and they've got a punch list, the checklist that they go through that's pages and pages long, and they really are. They're pressure testing. They're running cycles in the dishwasher. They're doing all of the things that really need to be done to turn a product over without blemish.
No, that is so cool. No, that's awesome. So what, like the market is we're in a changing market, and there's a lot of people offering incentives and doing different things, and you guys have kind of been at the forefront of that. What incentives do you offer buyers right now?
Yeah, so we just finished doing what we would call a 2-1 buy down.
Okay.
So we work with preferred lenders. There's some advantages to that. They're just as competitive as anybody out there. And those preferred lenders basically work side by side with us and the buyers to get the best rates. And what we offer currently is we'll pay up to 2% of the purchase price that can be utilized any way the buyer wishes. It can be used to buy down interest rates, which is an incredible option right now, especially if you're trying to get your payment down, right?
Right.
And that payment will go down 2% the first year, and then it goes up 1%, and then it caps at the prevailing rate. But within that 3-year time frame, you can do a free refinance as well, because we do anticipate, although that the rates are a little higher right now, we do anticipate sometime during the next 3 years that they'll probably go down.
Right.
And to have a free refinance at your discretion to use whenever you're ready is huge.
Right.
Right? That's a lot of money that is not coming out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Right? And so we offer a 2-1 buy down. We have some 3-1 buy downs, a 5-1 and a 7-1.
Oh, wow.
And it really just depends on what your buyers are looking for. I sold a home recently to my son. He used that money to buy out his mortgage insurance.
Oh, wow.
For him, that made more sense, right? So he's no longer paying that.
Right.
But you can use that money for closing costs, buy downs. You can put it towards landscaping if you wish.
Okay.
We do give everybody at least a voucher for 2,000 square feet of sod. But if you want sprinklers or additional landscaping, we've got this graduated scale of what that dollar amount will buy you and how many shrubs and so forth.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
It's a very flexible option as an incentive right now, and people love it.
And the lender will let you use that for landscaping stuff?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How cool. That is awesome. So can you explain why you guys have a preferred lender? I know I've been asked that a lot with buyers. Like, what's the point of a preferred lender for a builder?
It's a really, really good, valid point. So anytime you're building homes like us on a mass scale, and when I say mass scale, I'm talking 300 plus in a year.
Yeah.
Right? You have to have investors. You have to have partners.
Right.
Right. That's the funding vehicle behind building your homes. And those preferred lenders extend millions of dollars out to us to build these homes with construction loans. They do an appraisal up front, so we know the value of the home, which is really helpful for us and the buyer as well.
Yeah.
And when we use them, kind of the agreement with them is that they're going to take care of the clients, and we have good faith in them that they are going to take care of the clients.
Right.
The process is seamless, and I can't tell you how many times we've received a pre-qualification letter from an outside secondary lender that said these guys are good to go, and then we tie up that resource, and then you're ready to close on the home, and
They're not.
they're not.
Yeah.
They're not truly qualified, right?
Right.
We don't deal with that issue with preferred lenders because it's a deeper dive. We have the assurance that they've been fully checked out, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
And the other benefit is that when we know and they know that we have a solid buyer, they're more willing to release additional investment funds for us to build another home, right? And that's maybe more information than anybody really needs to know, but the reality is that we partner with them because the experience we have found is much better, much higher, is just as competitive, and it benefits all parties in so many ways.
Yeah. They'll get the job done.
That's
they'll
the
take
key.
care of the client and you guys and make it seamless.
It's a protection to everybody, really.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And they know your processes. I love it how you have appraisals. You already know where the houses are going to come in at before you have it tied up with a buyer or close to. So that's amazing. So incentives for buyers, you have the 2% of the purchase price back to them in basically whatever way works best for them. 2,000 square feet of sod.
Yep.
Is that 2% if they use the preferred lender?
Yeah, that's if they use the preferred lender.
Okay.
We certainly encourage it, but it is not required. If somebody has just an outside lender that they want to use, totally fine. The concessions that we offer aren't as high. Yeah. But we typically work with buyers on stuff like that, and I mean we're willing to assist. And help, but it's advantageous obviously to use the preferred lender, but it is certainly not required.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's awesome. Is there any other incentives you want to talk about before we jump into the warranty?
So we do offer a 5-gallon bucket of concrete sealant as well, which covers pretty much your driveway.
Right.
That we used to seal the driveways, but they're very the viscosity on them is really thick, right? And so you can only apply them at certain times during the year.
Right.
So what we've done is we issue a voucher and let the homeowners seal their driveways on their own. But that's a nice feature to protect your concrete from scaling and chipping and all of the different things.
Well, it's cool just to see that you guys care about that stuff. I had poured some concrete, I think it was last year, and went and bought 2 5-gallon buckets of that, and it is expensive too. Yeah, it's expensive.
About $600 or so, right? Yeah. You know what? When people walk into our homes, they notice the difference. That's what we hear all the time, and that's one of our catchphrases that you'll see on a lot of our branding and campaigning. Notice the difference, and they can't describe what it is, but they feel it. Right. I can tell you from my perspective what I think it is, and you hit it on the head when you say that we care. We really do. And that extends not only from those behind the scenes in the corporate side of things to the sales force. We're not a pressure sales team.
Right.
We're more of an informative, and we're straightforward and honest. I mean, it's like you could sell anybody anything, right? But if it doesn't make sense for them, it's not helping them in any way. Right? I think our clients really like that they can walk into a model home or have a conversation with a sales agent and say, you know what, based upon what I'm hearing, here are my suggestions. It's not what I want to sell you, it's what makes sense for you. Right. And about 60% of the buyer demographic make their decisions based upon the sales agent that they encounter and how much trust they have with them. Yeah. We strive really hard to make sure people know the integrity behind what we're doing, right? And it speaks volumes to the people that are on the sales team. Yeah. We really look for that personality type because, let's face it, we don't want people to come in and have a bad experience or say something. We want it to be a customer friendly exchange that is going to have residual effects for years to come. Many of these people become your friends. Yeah. right?
Mm-hmm.
That's our goal, is to make
Right.
it a great experience.
No, I love that. That's why we set up this podcast studio and everything, is to empower our clients so they can like have the knowledge and information and resources to make educated decisions on their own, versus us holding all the information here and just like feeding them a little bit
Yeah.
to try and push sales. Like, we want them to really figure out, hey, what do you want? And let's like push towards that, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So I love how you guys are about that. So let's jump into the warranty. What does this warranty look like with Nilson Homes?
So how the warranty works is we build to national guidelines,
Mm-hmm.
right? So interestingly enough, we have a very wet year, right?
Yeah.
We're seeing a 40-year snowpack, snow
Right.
base, and so flooding is on everybody's minds. And so what we do is we build to a 2-10 national guideline. And so what that means is that we're going to build to the guidelines nationwide, not necessarily what the builder or the homeowner wants, right?
Right.
Oftentimes we'll say, or the homeowners will say, can you sink the home deeper in the ground? I want less stairs. Well, the answer to that is
Yes.
a lot of builders will do that,
Yeah.
right? We'll build whatever you want.
Right.
And you're going to pay for it long term when Mother Nature corrects, such as this year.
Right.
Water tables come up, you have flooded basements, and then there are bigger issues.
Mm-hmm.
We try to avoid that.
Yeah.
So our home warranty actually, I mean, we're required to get below the frost line,
Yeah.
right, for the footings. But a lot of our homes you'll see out of the ground a little bit. There are some that we can sink and recess deeper,
Right.
because the water table allows us to do that. But that's the whole goal, is it's prevention, right? And we'll either tie into a land drain or we'll install a sump pump, and that is strictly for prevention,
Right.
right? We don't want to have a situation where a homeowner calls and says, my basement's flooded,
Mm-hmm.
I need a sump pump. And we seen this years ago in a community that wasn't built by us, but it was built by other builders, where they sunk them too deep. And what they did out of panic is they routed those sump pumps into the sewer lines, which overloaded the sewer pump station. And the next thing you know, the EPA's sending out $10,000 fines, right?
Yeah.
And that's not what you want to do in a panic situation. You want to
No.
be prepared,
Right.
so that if it happens, all you got to do is just sit back and let it do its job, right? And so, yeah, when you go into our homes, you'll see a sump pump or you'll see a land drain, and in some cases you might see both. But that's why we do that,
Right.
is to protect. But on the home warranty specifically, because that was a little bit of a squirrel.
Well, no, I do want to say something on that, because I
Yeah.
have a rental property in Ogden. We've owned it for 5 years. It was built in the 50s. And just this year, like this was probably 2 weeks ago, our tenants started they messaged us, and there's water coming in like all around the edge in this laundry room. And this home has been there since the 50s. And I go over there and I take my hammer drill a hole in the concrete slab, because I'm like, it's got to be groundwater. And sure enough, I drill a hole down through, pull my bit out, and water starts coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we had to cut a hole and put a pump in. But it's like, some people are like, oh, there's a sump pump here, this house has a problem. And you guys are like, no, we're doing this for the 40-year storm that you might get when
Right.
you own the home, so that you can go in there and check, oh, there's water in here, let's start pumping the sump pump out, which
Yeah.
is so cool. So
Yeah, and we do a perimeter drain as well
Yeah.
around the home. And I mean, every home's going to have a minimum of, I want to say, 18 inches-ish or more of washed gravel. And water's going to come to the point of least resistance, right?
Right.
So that's the goal. If you do get groundwater or surface water, regardless, it's going to somehow funnel itself down to that sump pump, and then it will eject it out the front
Yeah.
into the curb and gutter area.
Yeah.
So prevention, but we actually purchased that 2-10 home warranty for the buyers.
Oh, do you? Wow.
Yeah. And so how it works is year one, Nilson Homes covers everything, period.
Yeah.
That is just our commitment to everything, right? And then years 2 through 10, which is where the name of that warranty comes through, is a prorated home warranty. So 2 years would be like on your systems, if you will. Appliances, they're done directly through the manufacturer. But then you have the structural, which is on the 10-year side.
Okay.
Right. So there is a deductible associated with a 2-10 home warranty, whereas with Nilson Homes, there is no deductible. So what we try to do is whenever somebody moves into a home, the home, we want it to go through all 4 seasons, because it's just like anything else with temperature changes. It's going to expand and contract, right? In metal, it's the thermal coefficient of expansion. You know it's going to do it, right?
Right.
Well, that flex can cause nail pops. That flex can cause sealant, like your caulking, to peel away, or grout to maybe, come
shift,
out.
yeah.
So what we do is we come out at month 11 and resolve anything that we've seen that's settling related like that. But we cover anything that happens within that year. And then years 2 through 10, that other warranty kicks in. And a lot of people don't realize that we spend a couple $1,000s, give or take, on that warranty for peace of mind, right? That is peace of mind for you as a buyer. It's peace of mind for us as the builder.
Right.
We want no problems. Will we have them? Occasionally.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you can't always prevent things like that, but we're doing everything we can to make sure that there are no further issues. So.
No, that is so cool. Yeah, you don't see, like, every builder in Utah has to offer a basic, like, 1-year warranty, and most of it's just structural.
Yeah.
But the fact that you guys come back out at 11 months and check and do any repairs for nail pops, cracks, things like that is huge. That's so cool.
Well, and we've been building since 1977.
Right.
So, and that says something, right? I mean, what's that, 45 years-ish, somewhere in the range,
Yeah.
if my math is right. But we're a solvent company. We've been around, and you don't have to worry about a builder just walking away from a job and they're insolvent, right? And I've seen that.
Right.
I've seen it on my parents' home where they had some stairs that sunk and the builder was gone, right?
gosh.
And what do? It costs you money and you're frustrated.
Yeah.
We're not that builder. We're that builder that's around, financially stable, and I mean, we have pride in what we do, and that's peace of mind to me if I'm looking to buy a house, just knowing that they're going to be there, right, for me if I need something.
Well, and you guys have the history, and you've done enough homes that you know exactly what to do.
Learned our lessons.
Yeah, versus like there's a lot of builders out there, people, they'll do a spec or 2 a year and they're not in construction. I have my general contractor's license. Like I framed homes and I have some experience in the industry, but the fact that I could go out and just general homes is crazy to me because like I don't consider myself that qualified, and my brother just got his license too. And it's so easy to become a general contractor right now. Like the barrier to entry is almost lower than it is to become an agent right now.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to, like, there's just so many homes out there that it could be their first, second, third one, or even 10th one. And, there's things they're going to miss. And I've seen that happen quite a few times.
Yeah, and we have a very rigid quality control system as well with the trades. Because, I mean, we get calls all the time, people that do tile work, paint, and they want, to pick up some work. We'll actually scrub through these trades and make sure that they're a viable option, that they're going to adhere to our standards, and they're going to do what we consider to be that level of quality, right? Not necessarily just come in and slap lipstick on a pig, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Which can happen in a market like this.
Right.
It is take pride in your work, and if you don't, you won't be working with our company. And so we've got a buy-in from our trades that, quite frankly, are the best in our opinion, and they've been selected and chosen for that reason, and we want that higher quality with everything.
No, that is so cool. So I just want to go over, like, what are the pros and cons of working with Nilson Homes? And I can say, I'll tell you what I think the pros are. The pros are, you know what you're getting. The price is there. You're not going to be, like, side punched with like, oh, I thought I was building a house for $700,000. It's going to be $750,000 or $800,000, which happens right now. Your interest rate's locked in. Like There's very little bumps you're going to run into there. You know what you're getting. And then you have all the warranties, everything figured out. So like even if there was an issue that arose, like you have that protection there. Going through like all your products, there's so many things to choose from that you guys have and offer. Like any buyer that wants to be, I would say location's probably the biggest thing. If you're wanting to be in Cache County or Box Elder, Salt Lake County, like obviously you guys aren't building there. So this is more specifically if you're wanting to be in Weber and Davis. But if you're okay with those locations, like you guys most likely will have a product that would fit somebody's needs.
Yeah, yeah.
No bidding wars or few, less, you know. And then all your incentive programs, 2% cash back, the sod, and then the warranty is huge. Anything else you would add in there?
You know, I think the biggest thing is that we have inventory.
Yeah.
Right. Rest assured that somebody can come into our market if it's location driven, right?
Yeah.
And know that there is a product. And
Right.
if they're ready now, we have it. If they're ready in 6 months, we have it.
Right.
And they can secure it.
Yeah.
Right. And it affords a lot of flexibility, especially if you aren't quite ready. You know, maybe the millennials don't have quite the down payment that they need yet. Or maybe somebody is taking a military relocation or a Northrop Grumman relocation and they're not quite ready for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
They can fly into the market or even FaceTime with us and secure a property with peace of mind, knowing that I'm going to move there and I have a place to live. I mean, if you look at, I last time I checked the demographics on the rental market, we have like a vacancy rate of less than 0.5% in the state, right?
It's crazy.
So you're either going to be renting and paying a ton of money in a rental, right? Yeah. Or you can find yourself a beautiful home and put your money towards that home, right? And that is a huge, huge pro, in my opinion. It's just, there's options, and so many of them, right? In terms of cons, I don't know that there really is any. I mean, if it's the contrast or the dynamics between a used home or a new home, and pricing has really leveled out. Yeah. Right? Your used home comes with landscaping, but it also comes with use. Right. Right? And you don't know how long before that water heater goes out, that type of thing.
Or when the roof you're going to have to replace and those things.
Or when... Or who's lived there, and what's been done in that home, right? And I'm funny like that. I have kids, right? And I like to know that I'm moving into something that's brand new. I know that it's covered. Yeah, there's warranty. And And there definitely is a peace of mind to that because you have roof, windows, exterior, like all of those things. And then the main mechanicals of the home, the furnace, the AC, like all those things are going to have to be done within the next few years. Yeah. And I don't think people realize that. And that can be a huge expense. So like just looking at what all those expenses would be and then factoring that towards a new build, like it's probably a wash almost. Yeah, for sure. So that is cool. Yeah, I would say the only cons is you're like, if there's like, if you wanted to be in Salt Lake County, you know, it's location driven. Right. And then you guys aren't custom home builders. So if somebody was wanting a home in Morgan County or Eden, like you guys wouldn't build a custom home. So it's the one-offs, right? Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that's a con. That's just like, what do you want? So I feel like for most people looking for their first, second house, like this is a really, really good option for people.
I seen an article recently that was identifying kind of the median price point of homes statewide. And I want to say Utah was like number 6 or 7 on that list. And the average price point of a single family home in our market is just under $500,000. Wow. Which is staggering. Yeah. Right? That is our wheelhouse. We're in that. I mean, everything that we see from that high 3s to maybe the mid 6s is selling like crazy. Right? Where we run into a little bit of a more of a stagnant market is above that. Right. But that's a smaller demographic, right? And that's more of the middle to the higher income. Yeah. And we have those too, but it's just staggering how much the homes are costing, and they're very affordable for our market.
Oh, for
We're
sure.
competing really well, and we get a lot of people that'll come in and shop the market with both the used homes, the existing used homes, and the new, and it's like, wow. When you compare the two, it's a no-brainer,
Right.
right? And we have big lots still. A lot of people say, well, you get less ground. Well, we have lots of communities with 3rd-acre plus.
Right.
We have one with half-acre plus.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So you can get whatever you're looking for.
Yeah. No, that is awesome. So what plans do you guys have moving forward? Like, where are you going? What's your vision?
Great question. So our growth is going to sustain up in the north area here. We've got, give or take, 10 years worth of land locked up.
That's incredible.
Yeah, very strategic, very, once again, I pay tribute to the team that we have on the inside.
Yeah.
And they've just, it's like the stock market, you buy over time, just highs, lows, you just keep buying, right?
Right.
And they have done a great job of doing that. We have some communities that are on track that we'll be rolling out. One of the next ones is one in Far West. I have 8 homes right there that are within 30 to 60 days of being completed. Public doesn't even know about them yet.
Oh, wow.
But they are for sale,
Wow.
right? And going back to if you want to pick a gem, I've got it right now. And that's kind of like my little pocket listing, right? I can pull that out and say, hey, by the way.
Yeah, here's what else we have.
Yeah, but big community there. Plain City, we're going to duplicate our West Haven master community.
Okay.
And we're going to do that in Plain City.
Oh, cool.
And so that will be a major community that we'll be rolling out. And you know, we've got a bunch, and like I say, as a salesperson, I have a tendency to maybe spill a little too much information, right? But rest assured, we have a lot of options coming up, and so I would just say, if people are interested, this is a absolute great opportunity. And I will also say that I think the market has hit that bottom, right, in terms of the depreciation and the prices going down. I think we finally flattened out.
Yeah.
And we're projecting to see prices increase this year again.
Yeah.
So if there's a time to buy, it's now.
Right.
And I wouldn't delay.
Right.
Despite what the media says,
Yeah.
I think this is the time to buy.
No, spring fever's here.
Yeah.
We're seeing it heating up right now. Well, Chad, this has been awesome. Where can people find out more about you and Nilson Homes?
Yeah, for sure. You know, we have our website, www.nilsonhomes.com. I prefer a personal call.
Yeah.
I would love that. 801-755-4803.
Awesome.
Or you can email me at chad@nilsonhomes.com. I'm the weirdo that answers the phone or responds to a text in the middle of the night. Or
You really do. It's true.
Yep. And those that have worked with me will speak from experience, and I'm very responsive. I love working with people.
Yeah.
And I just think it would be awesome if there's some people out there that want to even explore, right? Just learn a little bit more about our product. Even if you're not even in the market, give me a call.
Yeah.
I'm happy to walk you through, show you some of our stuff. And like I say, it's a no pressure deal.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's the biggest investment of your life. You don't want pressure.
No.
Just come and enjoy it, see what you think. And you know, we're going to be doing some events. We've got one coming up on May 20th in Pleasant View, where we're going to be doing some vendors, some food vendors, and we've got a number of homes up there still. But you know, we'll put some stuff out and let people come and get a free hot dog, free lemonade, whatever, right? And just come and enjoy it with us. We love having activity.
No, I love that. And we'll link all your info in the show notes and everything. And I can attest, working with you, like, you met up with my client, picked up an earnest money check. Like, we were always communicating, because like my job's the same way. Like, we're talking late at night, early mornings, weekends. And it's cool to find somebody that's part of a company, because a lot of times it seems like people just slack off. I don't know. But like, you were so responsive throughout the whole process and on your A game. It was a breath of fresh air. So
I appreciate that. Touche.
Yeah. So thank you. And yeah, reach out to Chad if you guys have any more questions. Thank you, Chad.
Hey, a pleasure being on here with you. Thank you, Peyton, and I appreciate your time, your brokerage, and everything you do as well. So it's been fun.
Thank you. Awesome.